Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In today's episode, we will be talking about Bitcoin, Orchid, as well as the graph once again, because some very interesting things going on with that. Going over the news as well as taking a look at the charts. Today is definitely going to be a shorter video than normal. I normally try and say that and it tends to be the same thing, but we do have less articles to reference today and some interesting things. So if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe for more cryptocurrency news and technical analysis. And also, if you can, hit that thumbs up like button. I would love for us to try and push for a goal of 100 likes on each of these videos. And it definitely helps us out and it lets me know that you appreciate the content. Also, you can click the bell icon so you know whenever there's a new video and you can actually be alerted. Otherwise, YouTube's not really going to push that for you. Okay, so let's go right into the news. And by the way, if you guys could tell, Bitcoin's having a rough start to the day. As of the time of me recording this, it's 4:25 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So the new daily candle has just started 25 minutes ago, and the new day is starting pretty rough. Bitcoin tops $24,000, setting new all-time high. That's right, the price of leading cryptocurrency continued its recent torrid run, setting a new all-time high of $24,122.67 before falling back to just a little bit under $24,000, up 5.49% on the day. The record price comes 2 days after Bitcoin first sliced through the $23,000 price point amid its more than 12% intraday gains. With the latest price increase, Bitcoin's year-to-date percentage gains have grown to over 225%. Coinciding with the weekend price jump, Christopher Wood, global head of equity strategy at investment firm Jefferies, is reportedly planning to cut his exposure to gold for the first time in years in favor of a first-time ever position in Bitcoin. Wood is set to cut his gold position from 50% to 45% and initiate a 5% Bitcoin holding. Now, they are going to be moving over 5%. Let's say they move this over and things go well. There's a good chance that they're going to allocate more of their position over too. So it's almost like 5% is to say, hey, we don't have everything all in one boat with what's going on with gold, and the potential for Bitcoin is there. So let me really look into this and see what we can do with it, right? So I think 5% is a good start for them, and then weighing out how things kind of progress in the future. The fact that they're already dipping their feet into the water, there's a good chance that they're going to participate in it again. So that's cool that they're doing 5%, but I doubt that that's going to be the limitation of what they do. Next up, Bitcoin's market cap could hit $1 trillion in 2021 as its growing reserve currency status drives adoption higher, a cryptocurrency expert says. Bitcoin's market cap could hit $1 trillion as early as 2021, according to blockchain.com's head of research. My expectation is that Bitcoin will become $1 trillion asset as early as next year. Garrick Heilman, who is also a visiting fellow at the London School of Economics, told Business Insider. Although the 2020 Bitcoin rally was largely driven by institutional investors, he expects to see continued buy-in more from retail and Wall Street investors going forward. The researcher expects the U.S. to digitize the dollar, but not too soon, as he said the Fed is happy with the way the world is. Bitcoin has a current market cap of about $442 billion, while that of gold stands at roughly $10 trillion. This week, the cryptocurrency gained 12% over 2 days alone and was trading at $22,994 on Saturday. Blockchain.com observed a 39% growth in wallet creation year to date on its crypto exchange. This is about 17 million more wallets created since December of 2019. For Bitcoin's market cap to reach $1 trillion, it would have to hit a price of $54,000 per coin next year, a 130% rally from where it's at. I mean, we've only got 12 days left until the new year. So I really doubt we're going to have another 130% increase over the next 12 days. But I guess anything is technically possible. That'd be looking at like a 10% increase. Or, well, no, that's not right. Anyways, I really doubt that that's actually going to take place with that. Next year, potentially, for sure. I think ideally, I would like to see it push towards $100,000 next year, but that's mainly because I made a little bet with my roommate, and if Bitcoin hits $75,000, then he owes me a really nice lunch, and if it doesn't hit it by May, $75,000, well, then I owe him a really fancy lunch. So that's that. But then again, also making more money would be nice too. Tiny Capital's Wilkinson shows interest in Bitcoin. Andrew Wilkinson, the multimillionaire co-founder of tech-focused holding group Tiny Capital, ignited a small firestorm on Twitter Saturday merely by inquiring about Bitcoin. On Twitter, he stated, or questioned, can somebody summarize why it is logical to buy Bitcoin other than speculation in 1 to 3 sentences? And he got a lot of people engaging in this conversation. Of course, asking a simple question doesn't mean that Wilkinson, who's been described as the Warren Buffett of startups, will ever buy a single Bitcoin or even a blockchain-related startup, but it was enough to make CoinDesk Director of Research Noel Atkinson say, wow. Given how Wilkinson is known to act quickly, buying companies in days rather than the typical months, it's worth keeping an eye out. What is going on there? It's worth keeping an eye out to see what he might do should he be convinced that it's logical to buy Bitcoin. It's trying to tell me I've got an update apparently. I haven't seen that pop up before with that, so I guess there's a new update that came out with Windows. Yay! Okay, continuing on with this, and hopefully my computer doesn't restart because of this thing. Gold supply doubles every 40 years. This is from Willy Woo over on Twitter. He talks a lot about Bitcoin, technical research, and he gets a lot of engagement in his things. He says that gold, it's a flawed version of Bitcoin, but I guess it was the best SOV tech we had in the agrarian age. I think that's how you say that. What do you guys think? Do you think that Bitcoin is going to overtake gold someday as far as like a store value? Obviously, we still need gold for a lot of different things, so it's not like we are just going to completely get rid of gold. But as far as the market capitalization goes, do you guys think that Bitcoin will do it? And if so, what time frame do you personally feel we are likely to do that? Tell us in the comments down below. Okay, now going on to the charts. Again, one big reason is I don't know. Come on, all these dang pop-ups from TradingView. One thing, I don't know if my computer is going to end up resetting. I'm stumbling a lot over my words right now. So we're taking a look on the daily right here. You guys, look at this. You can barely see any volume at all. And the actual price has declined by 3/4 of everything that was gained over the last 24 hours from its starting point to its closing point for the day. There was movement that dropped it down. It recovered, pushed up even higher, bounced off of that line, came back down. And that line is showing a strong level of support. I actually had this set up before, so it's pretty cool to see that it's still stabilized with that. And yeah, that's the key level of resistance. So if it went up today and it decided to want to do the same thing, that'd be at $24,344. So it came up, tested the level of resistance, bounced back down, closed out at the day around $23,851, did pass above $24,000 as we mentioned. And then since the new day, in the last 32 minutes, it has declined over 2%. 2.09%. That is not good for the start of the day, but could be some people just trying to take their profits. Other people are going to buy this up. Again, it's just the start of the day, but this also could be the start of a really big red candle. If this decides to have a major plunge take place, this could drop all the way down. Major level of support is going to be at $20,000, $20,226, and that would actually put it at, let me find my, where is it? I always forget where this thing is. Okay, price range. Put it from right here, dropping all the way down. If it hits the 21 EMA, that would actually be approximately a 15% correction. Now, if it decided to want to work towards a 20% correction, 20% correction would actually bring it right down under $20,000 down here to $19,000. So quite a substantial decline, but we have seen major price drops occur before with Bitcoin. We had this symmetrical triangle pattern that took place, and then that breakout occurred and the rally ensued, correct? So it's not out of the realm of question. There's a lot of things going into play right now suggesting that people are wanting to get more Bitcoin, and when you get a big drop like this, some people are wanting to wait on the sidelines. Other people are selling off so that they can take their profits and wait to see how much lower it goes. And then you got other people that are saying, hey, I already see the discount. We're already in every sign shows that we're in the major bull run right now. I'm just going to go ahead and buy it at these levels and not wait for it to go even further down below. And just dollar cost average if somehow it does go down, right? So there's some key levels to look at for that right there. Key level of support I also had positioned before right here is at $21,660. I would be more concerned if it does breach past that of having a massive further rally drop, because we have had a lot of days consecutive green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row of nothing but positive movement up. So a correction is typical and would be expected. To what degree, though, hard to say. They say, though, that normally you take the stairs up and then you take the elevator down, and with cryptocurrency especially. So we'll see. Some buying action is starting to take place, and this is starting to go back up a bit. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. Let's go take a look at Orchid very briefly. Orchid, 3 days closed out in the red. Still down below the level of support. This is now 1 day of closure, having signified a start of a trend pattern. On the new daily candle position, we're still holding above 25 cents. 25 cents seems to be a very stable coin kind of zone for what's going on for Orchid. And a lot of people are getting really upset with it. A lot of people are talking on Twitter, really bashing on it because it's just not really seeming to go anywhere. And people are moving, they're selling off their Orchid and they're moving into things like the Graph or New Cipher. Some might even be putting it into some other things, but people are just getting impatient with Orchid. And, you know, when you look at these kinds of things, patience pays off. That is a phrase. And the future potential for Orchid is there. It's not like something came out and the protocol is just totally destroyed and this thing is completely worthless. We know they have future plans and what their space is that they're trying to get into, like the nano payment structure format, for example. The staking is supposed to be coming sometime soon. The Windows update just started and they're in like a beta stage or an alpha stage for that, and that's got a lot of potential there too. So they're continuously evolving this and making it bigger and better, but a lot of people don't want to wait. They want to take the profits now, especially because Bitcoin is having a big rally and everyone's expecting that this is that time where if something's going to move, that it needs to move. And they're seeing some other things making the move and they don't want to miss it. So they're like, I'll just come back to Orchid if it starts to look like it's doing anything. But who knows? I mean, we've seen these massive candles take place and one day out of nowhere, look at this, just boom, right there. Then you're going to have some people that are going to say, man, I wish I would have kept my stuff in Orchid. You're going to have some people that say that. Some people are making profits, don't get me wrong, but to say that this project is dead, I don't think that's fair to the development team, to the project itself. People see value in it, they're going to put investment money into it, but it doesn't mean that they're not working on making this better, you know? So I'm still excited to see how this goes in the future. As it is right now, though, the signs are still showing bearishness, so there is a higher chance than a lower chance for a further correction down, for it to go even further down. So if you're looking for discounted prices, they could be right around the corner here. It looks like it so far. We're down below 25 cents, back into the 24 cent range. This consolidated space zone, we actually have a couple points right here from the previous day and also back on December 16th. That's at around 2480, 0.2480, which we're just barely above right now. We're going to see if that actually is able to keep above that or not, or if it's going to pass through. If it does pass down below, and which it just did right now as I'm recording the video, now the next level is going to be at 0.2438. This might have a little bit of recovery back up as it's trying to contest against the actual previous day low. That's 0.2468. So 0.2468, the next level, another level after that is going to be 0.2436. If it decides that it wants to drop even further below that, then I would actually be watching right around here, because you can see there's a lot of instances that are coming right around like this and through this space right here. So this is going to be at 0.2410. We're still in the red zone off the Fibonacci retracement below the 0.236 on that. So, I mean, that's not good just in general as it is. And a very low point seems to have been bounced off of at 0.1955 or 59. So a little over 19 cents, just slightly under 20 cents for Orchid. And if it decides that it wants to go ahead and break back up, because this trend has not been fully established yet, it would need to break above this level of support off that symmetrical triangle, which is at 0.2608. Then the next major zone is going to be the 21 EMA. That's at 0.2658. Another level is 0.2694. That's going to be the level of resistance. And then up above that, it starts to have some more room to try and cool down a bit. That would already be a pretty good sized candle if it did take place like that. Much higher, I wouldn't I wouldn't be too surprised if it pushes up and has a retracement back down. You see that there's a lot of instances here where we have large wicks on the top. If it could break above 32 cents, that'd be amazing. 0.3229. Some people, if this starts to tank, if the graph starts to drop even further, they might say, all right, let me go ahead and move it into another coin. And someone might start a rally for this with Orchid. So we'll have to see how that progresses. Let's go ahead and move on to the graph now. December 22nd, just side note with that, by the way, is that if Orchid decides to go back in the symmetrical triangle, December 22nd is that last day of that point where they come together. So we'll have to make a big decision if it wants to go up or down at that point in time. But right now the signs are showing more bearishness. It's more likely to go down. Okay, now looking at the graph, which we finally have it on the graph on TradingView, not necessarily a lot to really work off of with this. So previously we were working off of CoinMarketCap and it wasn't updated in real time. So here we at least get a little bit of an update what's going on. On the daily, you can see that there was another day of massive gains. This thing has been doing extremely well. If you're just asking my personal opinion, because I'm not a financial advisor, so please do not ask me, guys, for financial advice on this stuff, what you should or should not invest into. That's up to you to make your decision, and always go do further research. But when you ask, if you do ask my opinion on this, I think that we're more likely to expect a correction for this. Sure, the project sounds amazing. The price movement, once again, it has a large circulating supply. It's over 1 billion of these tokens that are made so far, and their total supply is 10 billion tokens. So you need to have way more people involved to actually get it to move in that price range. And so it came onto a lot of exchanges all at once. And right now Bitcoin is dropping. People made a lot of profit off of this, and I think a lot of people are going to take their profits right now. So there's a high chance that this could end up dropping. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not 100% guaranteed on this. Based on my experience, looking at the charts, looking at how Bitcoin is going down, looking at the fact that this is already down in the first 41 minutes on the new day, it had dropped down all the way down to 45 cents right here, and it has retraced back, but we're also seeing it have a further correction down. So I wouldn't be surprised if this drops back below 40 cents. It started off around 10 cents. I don't think it's going to go all the way down to that level. If it even tests the 20-cent range again, would be pretty lucky, I would say, at this point, at least for a single day drop. But anything is technically possible. We don't have a lot to work off of with this. If I look at it on the 4-hourly chart here, you guys can see it. Again, it doesn't really have a lot to reference for this, and pretty much everything's been in the positive run. I swap over to the 1 hour. There was a bit of a drop that took place over in this time frame right here, large volume, but volume itself has been pretty stable for the most part, except for the last several hours. It has declined quite a bit. So, and as far as the price drop that's going on too right now for this hour, we've got another 18 minutes. So by comparison to the previous hour, not quite as much, but most of it is, well, it's actually going back and forth between the two. There's a little bit more action taking place on the selling side, obviously, because it is down at the moment, but there has been some fighting going on trying to keep it back up too. If it can't hold itself in that fight, I would expect it to have a further drop exponentially. Looking at the 15-minute chart, a little bit of green going on. On the 15-minute side, it also looks like there's a bit of a consolidated space throughout this range right here. So ideally, I would actually be looking at right about there looks good to me. And make sure I got this kind of lined up straight with that. So I would actually be looking right about there. So level of resistance at 0.4861, 48 cents, almost 49 cents. If it can break above that, should have a further rally. Down below it, right here at 45 cents, 0.4552. And if it breaks below that, then it has a further drop potential. As it is right now, if we drew like a pitchfork pattern, you guys can actually see that in the symmetrical channel, it is right about, oops, that's not actually angled correctly. There we go. We're just now tapping, again, as of the time of me making this video, in that middle zone. So it either fully goes through whenever it hits these middle zones, or it tends to reverse and pull right back. So it's going to make a decisive moment right now. It is showing green signs, and a lot of these green signs, when they've been showing, have been showing a further rally up. So it might end up tapping the 48 cents here again, and then we'll see if it does anything. I'm not going to stay for another hour or a couple hours to see what it does. So whatever happens after I'm done making this video, it is what it is. But yeah, so that's to keep an eye on for these things, guys. If you're new to the channel, once again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up like button. We are trying to get to at least 100 likes. I mean, if we could do 50 likes at least, but can we push for 100 likes? Let me know what you guys thought of this today, if there's any feedback on anything that was shown. If you have any other points you want to make that I didn't mention, also be sure to tell us down below. And also click the bell icon so you know when there's a new video. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode.